I've got a super talented guy on the phone line. He is multi-talented, a producer, a DJ, a vocalist, and he can spit bars as well. Man like Smasher. What's happening, bro?
Yes. What's happening, Jay? How you doing, bro?
Really good, man. You know, Freedom Day is here. Sun is shining. I'm in a good place.
Yeah, Freedom Day. Wow, we never thought this day was coming, right?
I know, right? It's a weird one. I'm not quite sure how I feel about everything. For you, heavily involved in the music game, how are you feeling now that clubs and everything else can like run as normal?
Yeah, obviously I'm excited at the prospect of that happening, itching to get back out there and start performing in front of a live crowd, because I'm just done with the live streams, man. The live streams are just, they got to take a break for a minute. We need some human interaction now. But yeah, fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed we're on the road to recovery, so...
Yeah, man, we're in a good place. And you're in a good place in particular because you have dropped a huge project, 16 tracks. I had to double check that. You're not shortchanging anyone. Of course, I'm talking about Vibes in Motion. Tell us all about it, bro. I'm gassed.
Yes, me too, bro. Yeah, it's basically Vibes in Motion is what has kept me sane through a lot of the lockdown period. I started making this album last July. I was kind of forced to build a home studio, and that was the start of really where this album sort of started to come together, really, you know, putting the ideas down and fleshing it out. And here we are yet again. It's like I remember having this conversation with you last April about when I released Locked In, Locked On. The following year, I'm back with another project, you know, so feels great, man. Feels great, bro, to be in the place that I'm in at the moment.
Good, and that's really, really positive to hear, man. You touched on it there about the power of music, and for me, it's really helped kind of keep me, I guess, sane over the last year and a half or whatever. Either jumping into records or just listening to classic tracks, just losing yourself in music. So, how important has it been to you to have this project to really kind of get your teeth into and occupy yourself creatively?
I can't even put it into words, bro. Like, if I didn't have this album or, you know, the space to be creative, like building the studio at home, I don't know. I really don't know where I would be mentally right now if I couldn't channel this energy and creativity into just creating music and just doing what I love. Do you know what I mean? It's like there ain't a day that goes by where I'm not doing something music related. If it's not listening to music, if it's not making it, it's not writing, you know, whatever the case may be. So this has been a massive like boost for me, just having the album to focus on and get my teeth into something. And at the end of it, I've got a tangible piece of work that's here, you know, for people to hopefully take some positive messages away and take something from the music as well.
Definitely, and I feel like that music with a message has become even more kind of valued over the recent events as well. But for you, I know it's important the way you approach your music in terms of leaving a musical legacy. So how do you view that side of things? How's that?
Yeah, I think that's been hit home more with what's been going on. You know, it's like you just look at the state of what's happening in the world, what's going on around us in society, and then you're like, the time is now. Do you know what I mean? The time is now with everything that's going on. You look at things like, even with the album, I was like, when was the right time to release this album? Like, it's you know, okay, we're in Freedom Day today, but up until this point, it's been a bit sketchy. You're like, well, should I put the album out now because I can't go out and perform it live? You know, there's all these other variables, but I'm just glad that we're here. I'm glad that we're here, and I'm just excited for people to get into this project, man.
100%. Now, we're going to step into your guest mix here at Pyro in just a minute, but you've mentioned a couple of times already in our chat today about the studio build, you building the studio at home. Now, not only am I jealous, but I'm now going to ask you for some tips, or what are the biggest things you learnt from that process? Was it straightforward?
Well, do you know what, Jay? I've had my fair share in building studios and moving from, you know, rented premises. I've had my fair share of that, man. So again, this was one of the blessings in disguise for me, actually, through the pandemic, because up until last April, I'd always had my own studio space, you know, my place of work where I could go to as a studio space. So being forced to sort of build this at home, listen, it's not a huge studio space that I'm working in, but it's sufficient to do what I need to do. And again, it's just one of them things where you just got to make it work. You know what I mean? Even if it's a case of, if you just got a laptop at home and that's what you've got to work with, like you make it work. Do you know what I mean? And as far as things like that, I could give you tips on a studio build. Put an aircon unit in it, because in the summer it gets hot.
Yeah, that is a tip that often comes up. It's like, oh, it's all well and good in the winter, but my God, even in the UK, when it gets to the summer months, you need the aircon, you need the water machine, you need to stay cool in there, because it gets hotted up quite quickly.
And the other tip would be putting a window or a door with a window in it, because over the years, like, I really can't stand working in rooms with no windows. I need a bit of natural daylight. Because I feel like, you know, it's easy to walk in the studio and then you come out 10, 12 hours later and you're like, wow, what time is it? It's almost like walking into a time machine sometimes, because you get lost in it, in what you're doing.
No, that's a really interesting point, man. Definitely.
So yeah, that's a big thing for me. Like, even now I'm looking out my studio door, there ain't a cloud in the sky, bright blue sky, birds are singing. You know what I mean? You can't beat them vibes.
Exactly. Life sounds really good right now. And what better music to accompany the energy and the situation you've just described than UKG. Now, you're going to step into another special guest mix for us here at Pyro. What can people expect over the next 15 minutes or so?
So I'm going to give them a little taster from the album. I've chucked in a little curveball in the mix as well. So yeah, they're going to get vibes. It's vibes, emotion. They're going to get nothing but vibes.
Exactly. Guaranteed vibes with Smasher right here at Pyro. Thanks for joining us today. Before you step into the mix, let people know where they can cop the album, how to keep up to date with all your movements, man.
Absolutely, man. So yeah, you can purchase the album from smasher01.bandcamp.com. I've got the limited edition vinyl on pre-order right now. So for any vinyl connoisseurs, that's a must-have for the collection. And you can find it on all digital streaming platforms as well. And you can follow me on Instagram at Smashergram.